most fights, most strikes, 7-1 underdog, making everybody mad. What else is left to do now?
I continue to make everybody mad. So, I mean, it was a good fight, man. I'm not going to lie. He came out orthodox, and I was like, okay, we kind of prepared for that, but we expected him to stay southpaw. Then jab was kind of landing. I was wondering, I was like, man, why is his jab landing kind of good? You know, he went right-handed, so given the fact that he's southpaw, that was dominant hand, and he was able to pop him up a little faster. But once I got his timing down and stuff, I think my head movement did pretty good, and kind of messed up his timing.
You were able to go there and give us those 15 minutes. People were going crazy talking about it online, man. It was just the OSP show. But what I was most impressed with is that you made him fight your fight. How did you guys accomplish that? Because he stood right there where you needed him at your range, and you were able to just, let your hands go.
I couldn't give him a chance to go forward. The thing about me is I do good going backwards. I can fight going backwards. If you put Kennedy on his heels or whatnot, he don't do too good going backwards. But also too, with him, if you get him going, he can start letting his hand goes. Now, there was a couple of times he started letting his hand go. I was like, all right, cool. Bite down to my mouth, he started going forward. When I started doing that, I started landing my shots and whatnot. And even doing that phone booth situation when we were in and whatnot. And I've knocked people out one punch before. I've watched Kennedy fights. A lot of times when he hits somebody or finishing with a TKO, he kind of have to throw a couple more punches after that. I know I don't need to do that because I caught him with a good, was it an uppercut that I caught him with that kind of dropped him. I was going to try to jump on him, and I was like, okay, be careful, because he's good at, withstanding the storm, and then after that he comes back and start picking people up apart. So kind of had to watch out for that.
And that's awesome. Was that part of the game plan, OSP, to put him on his heels?
I mean, that was part of the game plan, to stay in his heels. Preferably would have took him down to the ground and finish him that way. But he's long, man. He's kind of like that awkward long type deal where, it's kind of hard to get up under. He did a good job moving around. He did a good job, changing his stance and whatnot. And every time he changed his stance, I capitalized on that with the leg kicks.
It's not an OSP fight if there isn't somebody banged up, cut, bleeding. What's going on with the hand? What happened?
It's just my thumb. They just taking precautions and whatnot. More than likely, I just kind of jammed it up. It usually happens.
That's what's up, man. And off of this performance, people are going to want to see you again, defy time, make more records. How soon do you want to get back in here?
Man, I'm trying to fight 2 more times this year. I'll beat you to the question. I'm trying to fight 2 more times this year.
Well, I will beat people to the stands and watch you fight. Congratulations. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I just got one back here. I just want to know what was going through your head in that third round. You've obviously been in a lot of wars to your career, but that was easily one of the best rounds of the year so far. So what were you thinking when you guys were just going back and forth?
Man, to be honest, again, I knew, he don't have that one knockout power, and he was landing shots, I was landing shots. And actually, my trainer's wife, Taylor, probably about 2 weeks ago, we were doing something. She's like, you can do anything in 5 minutes. If you do it 5 minutes, you can do anything in 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, cool. If you end up being in a phone booth for 5 minutes, we can do that. And I was like, I'm going to make it a fight. And I was like, I'm not going to go down. And, we stayed in there. I know he was getting tired hitting me. And I wasn't going to get tired of hitting him.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.